Welcome back, generals, to another Let's Fix General 0 Hour to make the best game ever. Okay, so I think I will make a short session now, maybe. I don't want to spend the whole evening. What is this? Investigate data padding within classes and structures. The most significant number of warnings when WAL is used evolves around padding bytes being added to various classes and structures. In some instances, dozens of bytes are being added to a single object as padding due to the ordering of data within it. Optimizing this should help with memory usage and cache friendliness. Okay. Maybe it would have been good if he mentioned an example. I don't know what this exactly refers to. Maybe put an example of one of these paddings. I don't know. To me, it reads as if like EA put padding bytes into structs. That seems very unlikely. No. Okay, what do we have here? Merging this should be a priority. Not having this fix applied causes many issues and makes proper debugging a hassle. Not only does the game crash, but I have to move the game to a different desktop to be able to use the task manager to exit. Huh? Well, just test in window mode. That solves it. Yeah. Okay, what do we have here? It's a safe, whatever the null pointer is now. In theory, it should always be there as it's created by the snow manager at startup. We'll put a conditional check on it just to be safe. Okay. Okay. Let's see how it looks now. Is this replicated on generals? Yeah. Delete instance of production item. Free reference counted material. Delete particle systems. Free benchmark display string. Yeah. Create new file handler when necessary. Create new file handler when necessary. Now creates file handler only when necessary. Typo. Typing a type error. Prevent leak and prevent file handler. File handler. File instance. File instance. File allocation. Only when necessary. Prevent leak and waste. File handler. I don't know if that's this is meant to say, hold on, can add it to the other. Is this meant to say file handler? What does that mean? Okay. What about the commit titles? Fix material reference not being freed, okay. Fix production queue items leaking, okay. Objects for clean shutdown. Fix particle systems not being freed. Fix file systems leaking. File handlers on null file name. Fix wrong delete function usage. Wrong delete function usage. Remove redundant mesh. Fix display string cleanup. This commit title is missing a dot. How about use is this commit title has a superfluous dot. How about use How about use memory leak instead of not being freed, leaking. Cleanup instead of mixed terminology, not being free, leaking, cleanup, ... So for example, fix fix material memory leak in that. I think that is a much better way to describe it, because more people will understand what memory leak means, even noobs. Because people, like most people know what memory leak means. Players will know what memory leak means. But if you say not being freed or delete, clean up, reason being most viewers will understand what memory leak, let's say most noob visitors will understand what memory leak means, but will potentially be oblivious to the terms freed, delete, or clean up. Yeah. Yeah, I think it's always good to when writing a title, it's good to come up with a title that is easy to understand even for noobs. Like don't describe it too complicated in a language that only the most sophisticated people understand, but describe it with words that are very common. So like crash, fix crash in that function. Crash is like a really common word to use for the application is shutting down unexpectedly, right? So you don't describe the crash necessarily as an fix. How could you describe it in a bad way? Fix access violation in this function. Okay, now access violation is a valid term for a crash, but non-programmers won't understand what access violation really means. Like they might think, okay, it's maybe it's some minor problem, right? They won't necessarily think it's a crash. So I think when making a title or any description, use concise language, easy language that describes it not just for programmers, but also for users, for visitors, for readers in general. Because this gives the best chance to make everyone understand in a nutshell what this is about, right? And also the other point is that the way these titles are written they use different terminology. So here in this commit it says not being freed, and then next it says leaking, and then it says delete, right? So it uses different language to describe the same kind of problem, right? So here it should say fix memory leak, fix weather settings memory leak on shutdown for something, right? Here the same thing, fix production queue memory leak in this destructor, right? So if you use the same language, it becomes much easier to read through these items, because you see, okay, this fixes memory leak, this fixes memory leak, this fixes memory leak, this fixes memory leak, and so on, right? But if you use different wording, you have to do the mental gymnastics to understand, this fixes a memory leak, not being freed. Fix production items leaking. Okay, that also fixes the memory leak. Delete weather settings object for a clean shutdown. Okay, that's not so clear. Is it a memory leak or is it not? I look in the code. Okay, it's a memory leak fix as well, right? So the language is not concise. The language is differentiating from commit to commit, and it just makes it harder to understand what's actually being changed. And since all these changes are meant to be bundled, like committed in bulk, it's a good opportunity to be consistent with the writing. And I see this time and again that this is not intuitively done. And I think I also make this mistake at times. I try to be diligent, but it's easy to just like not pay attention to these things. But I think it's important to like really nail this and make it nice and easy, because you always revisit the stuff eventually, right? You look at this again. And then when it's easy to look at things, and it's much easier to work with this. And it's the same with everything. If you write code, you want to use good names for your variables, for your functions, for your classes. You want to write concise code that doesn't overcomplicate the logic in ways that makes it really hard to understand and read, right? You want to write it in easy ways, right? Avoid messy constructs. And the same goes here for the titles and descriptions and so on, right? Yeah, I think it's kind of self-explanatory. Yeah, good. Then some more notes. This is meant to say final handler. Okay, now I've opened all these different tabs here. Let me close that junk again. Check for mismatches in replace. Fix loop index comparison warnings. This is weird because here it changes a function. It looks as if the function call has changed, but perhaps it's just an error in the tool. Okay, what I want to do is I want to let me think. Right. Unassemblize. So here in the no, whatever. Good. So I think what we need to do is we need to remove this one. I think we need to remove all this garbage here. Okay, let me clean it actually up in here. Good, so remove all this. Move that, okay. That. And that. Okay. Then I think we can remove this guy. Then we remove that. And that. And that. Then we also remove this. And that. think we can revert this one here. And that's we revert all that. Oh shit, we still have this garbage here. Let me see. Okay, let me open this function. Okay. Okay, so this one here, I think we can merge it. Backport fast forward feature. This is a greasy hack. Message should be handled in the translator, but during cinematics, the translator is disabled. I don't know what that means. Oh, you can use fast forward in not replace. Allow debug cheats in release. So you can fast forward in skirmish. Is that right? Okay. Interesting. Good. I think we can match this backport fast forward feature for replay playback. Okay. Good. This is merged. No. Good. Let's see. Jumps. View, open settings. Oh, jumps, default. Oof. Okay. Origin target. Okay. Origin target. 4C3 720. 4C3 4C instruction. So, find jump origins. How's this populated? Get distance. I'm not sure. Get distance. Get instruction distance. don't know. Did it? Index 1. Instruction source. Okay. So the source is this one here. Jumps. Get destination info. Get jump destination info. What is this? Add jump destination. Where's this called? Okay, I think we need to change this to is local jump, right? Is local jump. Let's try that. Okay, and while we wait for that, I think there's also one more optimization we can do in PDB Reader, I realize. I think we are reading way too many things from the PDB that we don't actually use, and we can probably just compile that out. What I'm talking about is yeah, where is it? Here, read symbols, I think. Yeah. Read globals, read publics, global scope. Read globals. So we are only effectively using symbols, right? This one. We're not using functions. Right, functions. Where are these reds? Read compile and symbol. Read compilance. We certainly use this and this, but functions we don't actually use, or do we? I think we use symbols, but symbols. Publics and globals. So I think symbols already includes all the function stuff anyway. So I think you can get rid of functions. Compile and symbol. Compile and symbol reads function stuff. What is this? Children. So it only uses function stuff, yeah. Compile the info. Okay, so what if we compile this out? F0 and if currently not using functions at all. Not using functions, symbols. Function symbols. Not using function symbols. They are implicit. They are contained in publics and globals, global symbols too. And it should still yield the same results, I think. Let's see. So 40 seconds. So previously it took 1 minute 30 seconds, right, to load. So I wonder if this will be faster now. Yeah. Okay, seems to be a bit faster, yeah. But the symbols should be still the same. Yeah, still have 21,000 symbols. Yeah, we still got our... even though it's a local jump. Hmm. 嗯 Not sure. Hmm. 289D. 289D is the last address. 289D. How about we say I don't know. So which function is this? Create memory pool. Okay. The usual suspects. Copy value. Create memory pool. So if we were to put back the where are we? Yeah. If we remove this call again, checked a bunch of replays and found some strange behavior. The replay itself indicates that the game didn't mismatch when it was played. The version seems to be compatible. But when playing it back, the desync message appears. Comparing the final score screen with the retail version reveals no difference though. I found 33 such replays, but compared the score screen with the retail version only for 3 of those. It seems these replays were generated with some incompatible 0-hour retail version. But to make sure this is actually the case and our report didn't introduce an incompatibility, we should do one of the following. Compare each replay score screen with retail version. Match. Oh. Yeah, Jesus Christ. Okay, let me comment this out here. The replay itself indicates that the game didn't mismatch when it was played. I found 33 such replays. The replay itself indicates that the game didn't mismatch. The replay itself, okay. But when playing it back, the desync message appears. I understand. Okay, so this is investigate, task, investigate, major, stability. Let's see, what kind of replays are these? Oof. They all contain AI. Well, yeah. What all these replays have in common is that they use AI players. So the focus should be on that. So this replays out of how many? You could does this mismatch also happen with bare bones EA build and just mismatch message enables? EA retail build. Okay, what did we want to check? Right. Let me enable the jumps. Okay, so they jump here behind. Oh, that's weird. So something jumps here. Unfortunately, it's so hard to see what actually jumps. Yeah, okay, so something jumps there. We cannot see what it is. Probably something with a large byte count like this guy here. Like these guys. Yeah. Throw exception. This is actually valid code here. It shouldn't be cut out. I think the problem might be that we cut out instructions. Right. Maybe we should put this one also here. We should probably put this here as well. This might actually fix this problem. Let's see. Crickets. It's a rolling bush. What's it called? Yeah, this one. Oof. Ah. Right. Mm. Mm. Maybe we do instruction count -1, and then here plus plus I. Yeah. So match replace. Let me see the order. The order. Invalid game install. Invalid game install. SC NEN C01 invalid game install. K9. modified game install. Commander. Commander. Shunkaha. Install type unknown. Good, so let's see what do we have here. Single bundle. Create memory pool. Now it's showing this, yeah. Let me enable the jumps, yeah. Okay, so we can now see the we can now see the bottom part here, yeah. Let me 99 lenient. Thirteen. Yeah, seems to work now. Let me select a whole bunch of thingies here. And let me just flick through here. Let me just select all. And we just flick through here. Yeah, seems to be correct now. What about this one here? Instruction is jump. say it's also a local jump. Let me see where this is called. Let's jump. This local jump. So is this actually used? Not used. Okay. Not using function symbols. They are already contained in public. Remove unnecessary function pass work from PDB reader. This one we can reset again. I wonder if we can make, and you know what, I want to take a break now. Already too long of a session here. Yeah. I will finalize this next session. Yeah, no rush. Yeah. I wish you a great day or night until next time. Goodbye.